All right, so get ready, because today we're going deep into samurai territory.
Oh, yeah.
But not just any samurai, though. We're
Okay.
talking Miyamoto Musashi.
Ah, now you're talking.
A legend, a total legend who was way, way more than just like your typical warrior, master swordsman, absolutely.
Yeah.
But his wisdom, it went like way beyond, the battlefield.
See, and that's what's so fascinating about Musashi.
Mm.
He really breaks that mold, like the image we have of the samurai, as just this purely skilled fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But he was so much more. He was into philosophy, strategy, art.
Oh, yeah.
A real Renaissance man for his time.
Totally. And that's what we're going to explore today. We've got this article that really dives into his later years,
Okay.
focusing on his writings and the path that he chose, in life.
I like
It's like stepping into a time machine and like getting into the mind of this warrior who, at the height of his, power and skill, just walked away from it all to find something more, something deeper.
And imagine that, like, you've got Musashi, famous, like, undefeated in duels.
Right.
And instead of chasing even more fame, he decides, nah, I'm going to head to a cave.
Wait, a cave? Really?
Yeah, the Reigandō Cave, to be precise.
Wow.
But, and this wasn't just a short trip, he spent years there. Years reflecting and writing.
Wow.
And this is where he wrote his famous Dokkōdō, or The Path to Walk Alone, which lays out, get this, 21 precepts for life.
A cave.
Yeah.
That's a serious commitment to self-discovery.
For sure.
So like, what was it about this change, this searching for wisdom that's so captivating?
I think it's the unexpected turn, right? Here's this guy who's achieved like the peak of mastery physically, right, with the sword.
Right.
But still there's this deeper yearning.
Mm-hmm.
He was after meaning, not just victory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he understood that real strength. It's not just about conquering other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's about mastering yourself.
Okay, so what can we take away from these 21 precepts he wrote about in Dokkōdō?
Oh, they're gold.
Are these ancient rules like even relevant to us, today?
Absolutely. They might be from 17th century Japan, but their wisdom, it's timeless.
Right.
For example, one that really hits home today, Musashi's emphasis on not getting attached to material stuff.
Okay.
He truly believed that real freedom, true freedom, comes from detachment, from not being weighed down by chasing things.
Huh. Almost like he saw our modern struggles coming, right?
Interesting thought.
With consumerism and that constant desire for more.
Right. But it's important to keep in mind the context he was writing in, right? I mean, feudal Japan, totally different world.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is how his ideas about discipline and detachment, like finding contentment without needing external things, that still rings true.
Yeah.
Especially in our age of, all this stuff we have and all the ads everywhere.
I'm starting to get why he picked that cave.
Yeah.
Like he needed to get away from all that,
Yeah.
the distractions to really get to these deeper truths.
Yeah.
So what else did he write about in the Dokkōdō that might speak to us today?
He really emphasized the importance of constant learning.
Okay.
And self-improvement. He saw life as this ongoing journey of growth.
Oh, wow.
Where every experience, every encounter was a chance to learn something new. But for him, it wasn't just about collecting knowledge, right?
Right.
It was about honing your skills, refining your character, like striving to be the best version of yourself.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
It really connects with the whole idea of the deep dive, don't you think?
Absolutely.
We're all constantly searching for knowledge and understanding.
Exactly. And that's what makes exploring fighters like Musashi so rewarding.
Yeah. Right.
They give us these timeless insights that can help us on our own paths, even centuries later.
It's inspiring for sure.
Yeah.
Now, we can't talk about Musashi without mentioning, his most famous work.
Of course.
The Book of Five Rings.
Right.
A lot of people might think it's, just a fighting manual.
Oh, yeah.
But our article makes it clear, like, it's so much more than that.
It's really a blueprint, like, for strategy, for leadership, for navigating the complexity of life itself.
Wow.
Each of the 5 books, Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, Void. Yes.
Okay.
Represents a different element of strategy that can be applied way beyond the battlefield.
So how can we apply this ancient wisdom to, to our lives today? Like, could you give us a specific example?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's take water, for example.
Yeah.
Musashi stressed being adaptable.
Yeah.
Like water, flowing around obstacles, adjusting to any container.
Right.
Imagine you're in a business negotiation. This principle, this water principle, it encourages you to be flexible, to really listen to the other side.
Yeah.
And change your strategy based on what's happening.
That's really helpful. I can see how that could apply to so many situations.
Exactly. It's not just business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Musashi's teachings, they encourage us to think differently, to see the world through this lens of strategy and adaptability. He reminds us that, yes, having a plan is important, but being able to adjust that plan when things change, that's crucial.
Yeah.
It's not about being rigid, but about responding, to the ever-shifting currents of life.
So it's not about like being a pushover or anything,
right.
but about being fluid, adaptable, and ready to adjust your approach based on what you're facing.
Precisely. And that's just one example from the Water book.
Yeah.
Imagine like the wealth of insights in the other 4 books. It's incredible.
And this is where it gets really exciting. I mean, we're talking about a samurai who's teaching us about flexibility, strategy, and self-mastery. It's a far cry from that image of, the stoic warrior with the sword.
Totally. And this is really just the start of our deep dive into Musashi's world.
Right.
We've just scratched the surface, really, of his thinking.
I can't wait to explore more.
Yeah, me too.
So, to our listeners, we've set the stage here.
Yeah.
A legendary samurai who chose this path of self-discovery and left behind this wealth of wisdom that's still relevant today. But there's so much more to uncover, so stick with us. We're going to continue our journey into the fascinating world of Miyamoto Musashi.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about, Musashi's Book of 5 Rings and how each book is like a different element of strategy. You mentioned earth, water, fire, wind, and then void.
Right.
Now, void, that one sounds particularly interesting.
Yeah.
What did Musashi mean by void?
Well, the Void book is where he gets into like intuition and what's beyond the conscious mind,
Okay.
It's that space where true mastery comes from. When you're so connected to what you do, your actions just become instinct.
Right.
It's about cultivating that inner knowing, that ability to see the whole picture. And respond in a way that goes beyond just fixed strategies.
So it's not about ditching strategy altogether.
No.
But about developing a deeper understanding that lets you move past, the limits of predetermined plans.
Exactly. Think of a jazz musician improvising a solo.
Okay.
They have a deep knowledge of music theory technique.
Right.
But in that moment of improvisation, they're tapping into something beyond the notes on the page. They're in the void, responding intuitively to the music, the other musicians, the energy of the audience.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
You can almost like feel that energy and creativity flowing in that space.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, like, how can we cultivate that sense of void in our own lives?
Good question.
Whether we're, artists or entrepreneurs or just navigating everyday life.
Musashi would say, it's about constant practice, honing your skills until they become second nature, quieting the mind, being present, really present in the moment, trusting your intuition. He believed that by emptying ourselves of preconceived notions and expectations, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding and a more intuitive way of being.
So it's not just about having an empty mind.
No.
But about filling it with experience and knowledge so that you can draw on that wisdom whenever you need it.
Exactly. It's about that perfect balance of knowledge, skill, and intuition.
Right.
That lets us move through the world, with grace and effectiveness.
We've been focusing a lot on Musashi's writings, his philosophies.
But let's not forget, he was a man who lived a full life.
Okay.
The article mentions his later years and his peaceful death, dressed in a white kimono. What can you tell us about that final chapter?
Musashi's death, it was very symbolic, choosing to die in a white kimono, which is traditionally like a symbol of purity, simplicity.
Right.
It showed his detachment from worldly concerns. He faced death with the same composure, the same clarity, that he faced all of life's challenges.
It's interesting how even in his death, he was teaching.
Right.
What were some of the things that he emphasized to his disciples in those final days?
He stressed lifelong learning, reminded his students that the pursuit of mastery, it never ends. He also emphasized finding inner peace, not just in quiet moments, but in the middle of, life's storms.
So it wasn't about seeking peace to escape the world, but about cultivating this deep inner peace that allowed him to face the world's challenges with grace and balance.
Exactly. And while he was no doubt a skilled warrior, he wanted his students to know that true strength, it didn't just come from physical ability.
Right.
It came from cultivating wisdom, discipline, and inner peace.
It's incredible how a warrior from, feudal Japan can offer such timeless and relevant wisdom for us today.
I know.
It's like he was centuries ahead of his time.
Yeah.
But his legacy, it goes beyond just his teachings, right? The article mentioned his school of swordsmanship.
Yes, his school, Nitanichiri, or Two Heavens style in English, is still practiced today.
Wow.
It's known for using two swords, a katana and a wakizashi, wielded at the same time. This unique style, it really embodies Musashi's philosophy of adaptability and seeing the world from multiple perspectives.
So it's not just about like fighting with two swords.
No.
It's about having a broader, more adaptable approach to combat.
Precisely. The two heavens, they represent this dual nature of existence, the physical and the spiritual, the internal and the external.
Okay.
Musashi believed that true mastery came from understanding and integrating these seemingly opposing forces.
So we've got this incredible swordsman, strategist, philosopher, who's also an artist. The article mentioned, his calligraphy and paintings.
Oh, yes.
What can you tell us about his artistic pursuits?
Well, Musashi's art, it was deeply connected to his philosophy,
Okay.
He was a master of both calligraphy and ink painting.
Wow.
His works, they often depicted birds, landscapes, Zen Buddhist themes. There's this sense of spontaneity and energy in his brushstrokes, but also this deep sense of contemplation and stillness.
Sounds like his art was really an extension of his inner world, a way to express his understanding of nature, beauty, the interconnectedness of everything.
Exactly. His art wasn't just about creating, pretty pictures.
Right.
It was about capturing the essence of life itself, the fleeting moments of beauty, and the profound wisdom that comes from observing the natural world.
It's amazing how Musashi's legacy goes beyond just martial arts.
Yeah.
His teachings have resonated with leaders, artists, thinkers all over the world.
It really is a testament to the timelessness of his wisdom, Musashi's insights into strategy, self-mastery, the pursuit of excellence. They've inspired so many people to strive for greatness in their own fields.
This deep dive has been incredible so far.
It has.
We've explored Musashi's life, his philosophy, his writings, his art. He was truly a remarkable individual.
He was.
But what does it all mean for us? How can we, as modern people, apply his teachings in our own lives?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? We've uncovered all this fascinating stuff about Musashi.
But how do we actually use it, in our own lives? It's kind of daunting, honestly.
It's true. He's almost like a mythical figure, larger than life.
Yeah.
But what's so remarkable is that his teachings are really, at their core, about human potential, the potential that we all have within us.
Right.
He believed that anyone, it didn't matter where they came from, could achieve mastery in whatever they chose to do by cultivating the right mindset, the right approach.
So it's not about literally becoming a samurai warrior, right? But more about embodying those principles like discipline, self-awareness, strategic thinking in everyday life.
Exactly. And remember, Musashi's path wasn't like this straight line to success.
Right.
He had setbacks, defeats, times of doubt,
Yeah.
But he never stopped trying to improve himself.
That's really inspiring. So where do we even start? If we want to apply Musashi's wisdom, what's a practical first step?
I think Musashi would say start with observation.
Okay.
He was such a keen observer of the world around him, but also of his own inner world.
Right.
He believed that by developing a heightened awareness of ourselves and our surroundings,
Yeah.
we could gain these valuable insights
Right.
that would then inform our actions, our decisions.
So it's about like being present,
Yeah.
paying attention to those little things we might normally miss,
Mm-hmm.
and really tuning into what's happening, both inside and outside of ourselves.
Exactly. And it's not just passive observation, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's about actively engaging with the world, asking questions, seeking understanding, constantly challenging those assumptions we have.
It's almost like becoming a detective in our own lives.
Yeah, I like that.
Looking for clues,
Mm-hmm.
piecing together information, and using those insights to make, better choices.
Love that analogy.
Mm.
And once we start paying attention, we might be surprised by what we find. We might notice patterns in our behavior or those limiting beliefs that are holding us back,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even opportunities that we didn't see before.
That's true. It's like we're putting on a new pair of glasses and seeing the world with fresh eyes. So once we've started observing, what's the next step in using Musashi's teachings?
I think that's where adaptability comes in.
Okay.
Remember Musashi's principle of water.
Yeah.
Being flexible, willing to change course when we hit obstacles.
Right.
Not being afraid to change our approach when the situation calls for it.
It's easy to get stuck in our ways, right?
Oh, yeah.
Clinging to plans that aren't working anymore, or resisting change because it's scary or we're just comfortable.
Yeah, but Musashi reminds us, true strength is in our ability to adapt,
Right.
to flow around those obstacles like water.
Yeah.
Embrace the fact that life is always changing.
And this ties back to the Void book, doesn't it? That intuitive knowing that comes when we're so connected to what we do.
Yeah.
When we've let go of those preconceived notions, those expectations, and we're open to the possibilities of the present moment.
It's almost like he's encouraging us to be more like artists in how we approach life.
Yeah.
Embrace experimentation. Trust our intuition. Be willing to let go of control, to create something truly unique, something meaningful.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. And ultimately, that's what Musashi's legacy is, isn't it? Inspiring us to strive for excellence in everything we do, live with intention and purpose, and never stop learning and growing.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm struck by how much Musashi's wisdom resonates with, with the spirit of exploration and discovery that we embrace here. It's about being curious, asking questions, and never settling for easy answers.
It's about embracing the journey, the challenges, the triumphs that come with striving for mastery, and whatever we choose to pursue.
So to our listeners, we encourage you, take Musashi's teachings to heart.
Yeah.
Explore his writings, delve into his philosophies, and most importantly, experiment with applying his principles in your own life.
Exactly.
You might be surprised by the transformative power of this ancient wisdom.
For sure.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep seeking that path to mastery.
Absolutely.